besties. While editing the video that you are about to see, I realized that I never recorded an intro. So you will have seen in last week's video that I did a book haul. And with book hauls come bookshelves organization. Because as you know, I just recently broke up with my boyfriend of 7 years and I moved into a new place. So right now where I'm recording, I'm at my mom's house, but I moved all of my stuff over to my dad's apartment. And so my bookshelves and all of my books are actually over there. So you're about to see me organize all of my bookshelves and give you a bookshelf tour. So let's get into that right now. Okay guys, so here are my bookshelves. As you can see, these are not as fancy bookshelves. They are from IKEA, but I have all this space to fill up with books, and then here are all of my books over here. As you can see, there are a lot to go through. There are books in this bin, books in that bin, books all over the floor, and then there are books all over this table. I don't exactly know how I want to organize everything yet. And then here's my workstation. It's a bit messy right now. My plan is that when I record, you'll be able to see my books behind me and I'll record on my desk here. So I don't know how I want to organize this quite yet. I think I'm gonna need to sit on the ground and kind of figure out if I want all my fantasy books in one area, romance in one area, or if I just want to kind of like put it all over the place. I don't quite know yet. So we need to get that figured out, and that's what we're gonna do today. So let the time lapse begin. Realize that these shelves are not quite aligned. This one is lower than that one. The same thing for the one above it. So I have to move this because this will be a problem for me. And now to deal with all of this. May is not helping me at all, but we are going to try and attempt to deal with all of the books here, all the books that are also inside this bin. So I think what I'm going to do is that I'm going to organize everything by genre. So I think that just might be easier to do it that way. And then we will figure this out and make it into piles of everything that's like fantasy, everything that's YA, graphic novels, whatever. And then keep all the series together. I think that might just be easier because I have so many books here to just organize it by genre so that when I go onto the shelves, I'll know where to pick from when I'm looking for a specific genre. So let's get started and let's do that. Okay guys, I have organized to the best of my ability, so let me show you what's going on. So down here we have textbooks and cookbooks. We have the Game of Thrones series, all of my Harry Potter books. I know we don't stand, but nostalgia's sake, I gotta keep it. Then here we have, these two stacks are sci-fi. That stack is graphic novels or comic books. This stack here is all of my books in the Outlander series. Then the stack that I'm pointing to, that is mystery, thriller, horror section. And then these two stacks right here are my romance novels. And then these three stacks, 1, 2, 3, are fantasy, including that tiny stack right there. And then here is more of like my contemporary novels. I'm gonna need to do some deep dive into that to figure out if I can divide that up even better. And then we have the John Scalzi book, which is so awkward and so weird that it doesn't really fit into a category. I wish I knew. But let me get to putting these books on the shelf. Okay guys, I do have a sprayed edges copy of Cookie Kingdom. I saw Six of Crows when I was at Half Price Books this past weekend, and it was the sprayed edges one. And I was like, oh, I'm not gonna buy it because I think I already have a copy of it. Turns out I don't, so I need a reason to go back to Half Price Books to buy that copy of it. Anyway, let the organizing continue. Okay guys, I have finished organizing my bookshelves. I did it as best as I possibly could, so let's look at it together. On the top shelf, we have our mystery, horror, thriller category. I have Bloom, Good Girls, Dead of Winter, Silent Patient, and then the Veronica Speedwell series, the first books in that series. And then this is more of like, I know I've read Reckless Girls, and that is a thriller. And then we have Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. That I think is also a thriller. And then we have Bright Young Woman. I honestly don't know where that would fit. And then the rest of this is kind of random. This is a poetry book, and then the Crying at H Mart is more of a memoir. And then the rest of it is kind of random. It's mixed between contemporary and historical fiction versus I don't know where these books should go. On the next shelves here, you can see I have more of my fantasy novels. Most of the ones on the shelf I have not read yet. I'm considering moving these two, so The Cruel Prince and Percy Jackson, down into a different shelf, but I'll show you that one later. And then we have our sci-fi shelf and our Brandon Sanderson's shelf here. I'm really glad that I own all four of the Secret Project books. And up top we have our Heartstopper series and magazines and saga, so kind of like our graphic novels shelf. And then on this other shelf is my romance. So the romance is kind of like all over the place. It's not organized between like your contemporary romance versus dark romance versus like paranormal romance. It's just romance in general. And then I have my copies of Lotus here. I have two paperback copies of Lotus, and then I have a paperback copy of Still Beating. I want the original cover of this, so I'm still on the hunt for that. And then I've got some bookmarks here. And then the next shelf is our Outlander series. So these are the mass market paperback version of the first three books. Kind of want to get rid of those and buy the first three. And then we have Game of Thrones here. I have read these two. I don't know if I'm going to get to the rest of the series, but we shall see. Then on the very, very bottom shelf, it is our Harry Potter collection. I think I'm missing the first two books in the Harry Potter series, but J.K. Rowling, you belong on the bottom. This is nostalgia. This is why I'm keeping it, but you truly belong in the bottom. And the next shelf is one that I'm pretty proud of. So this is all of my Frayed Edges ones. So we have Fangirl, Ice Planet Barbarians, my pride of my book collection, Still Beating, the Mystic Box edition. I also have the Mystic Box edition of Lotus that I absolutely love. And then I have the Bookish Box edition of A Dowry of Blood. I love that. And then I have Crooked Kingdom. And then a more recent purchase is A Fate Inked in Blood. This is a Viking romance, I think it is, but I do like this kind of metallic-y blue sprayed edge. I can't wait to get more sprayed edge books so I can fill up this shelf. And then here on the bottom is our cookbook / textbooks shelf. It's kind of empty and bare. But as you guys can see, I have a ton of space to fill up more books, especially at the bottom. Okay guys, so that is our new recording setup. I'm so glad to have my bookshelves finally done and put together. I can now record here and feel proud of what I'm putting out there. I will need to work on the lighting in this room because it is a bit dark in here. I'm so glad to have my recording setup finally done and my bookshelves behind me. As you can see, there's a lot of empty space on these bookshelves that will need to be filled up by books. I think my bookshelves could probably hold another 100 or so books. If you like this video, please give it a like, please comment, and also please subscribe. So if you want to know what I'm currently reading, follow me on Goodreads. And if you want to know what's going on in my life, you can follow me on Instagram. That is linked below for you. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.